All right, today's a good day. I've been waiting for this day for a long time. You all have noticed something in the background of a few of my videos and made comments on it, asked questions about it, and well, today we're getting to it. I'm going to introduce it to the channel, and unfortunately, during the build process, all I have is pictures. But I'll put the pictures together in a picture video, and hopefully everybody likes it. I'll try to put some music to it and make it kind of interesting with some transitions and stuff. But yeah, today we're talking about the 1968 VW Bug project that we did. Now, this Bug sat in the garage for 10 years, untouched. I had an engine built for it when I bought the car. It's a 1641 with, I think it's a 110 cam and straight cut gears. It makes a little whining sound when it runs. It's really cool. The car is really fun to drive. It's like driving a go-kart, you know, just an oversized go-kart. And I really like it. Now, it hasn't been driven in a while because it's just been hiding out in the garage, and it's being used as storage. It's got stuff inside it, some parts inside it, but we want to get in there and get it cleaned out and start driving it again. There's a couple things that are wrong. The engine is out of tune. It's got dual carburetors, and the carburetors are not synced up that well anymore. It kind of spits and sputters a little bit before it goes. I think it also could use some rejet on the carburetors, besides a lot of cleanup. It's pretty dirty in here, but yeah, it runs really good. Really good. And yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna go ahead and clean up the carburetors, clean up the engine compartment, maybe add an oil catch can. You can see it's pretty dirty right there. I think the breather leaks a lot of oil, so yeah, we might add a catch can to it, get it running top notch again, take it for a drive, be able to use it every day. It's got a single exit exhaust, even though it comes into one point right there. Both pipes are inside. I don't know if you can see that. And it's got an extra sump on the engine, a billet oil cover with drain hole that can be used for an oil sensor. So we got rid of the heater boxes. It's got a muffler on it. I believe it's an empty muffler. Yeah, it's doing pretty good. I can see an oil leak right now. Like I said, it hasn't been driven in a while, so we may be getting a little bit of seepage through. That could be where the sump, the extra sump, bolts up to the engine. We may need to replace that gasket. If so, that'll be a video for the channel. It's been lowered. It's got new links on it and bushings for the Z-bar. Yeah, it's got an extra engine support brace down there that bolts onto the back of the transmission. We did loosen up and adjust the suspension so it sits a little bit lower in the back as well. And yeah, it's a pretty nice car. We have a lot of fun with it. Let's take a look at the front. Now the front, as you can see, is pretty low. And you see right here, there's marks where the fender rubs on the tire. See that? Fender rubs up in there on the tire. I could have narrowed the beam and stopped that, but I didn't want to. I like this look. And actually, when it's riding right, when the suspension is correct, it doesn't rub that bad. Only when you put too many people or too much weight inside. It steers perfectly too. I could fix this by widening the fender an inch or so. That would clear that lip and make things a lot better, but that's a little bit down the road if I decide to do that. The reason it's rubbing so bad is the beam. I don't know if you can see that in there. The suspension has what's called a beam on it, and it's got two sets of springs, one here and then one up on the upper control arm, and there's adjusters welded into it, and it's able to adjust up and down by turning those adjusters. However, I believe one of those springs packs is broken, or some of the springs, there's multiple springs in a pack, and I believe somewhere in there a spring is broken or multiple springs are broken, and now it just doesn't sit up anymore. Now it's bottomed out at its lowest position. So it's a little bit of a hard ride, and you can see, you know, it's about, I don't know, it's about a 1.5 to 2 inches off the road. So it likes to scrape the road really bad. There's a lot of scrape marks in there, but we're gonna fix that. What I would like to do is put some air ride shocks on the front of it and be able to adjust the height of it with air pressure, similar to what we do with airbags. That way I can bump it up when there's more weight in it, or when we just want to do a normal drive, or I can release the air pressure with some dump valves and set it all the way down to where it is right now. I can even put through rods in there and take out the springs just to hold the control arms on, and that will give the suspension complete adjustability all the way down. And it would then be totally reliant on the air shocks to raise it up or raise it or lower it down. Or if I wanted to, I could put coilovers on it, and that would do the same thing. I just have a fixed ride height. We're gonna get back to work on this thing, get some projects done that we've been wanting to do for some time, and get the little 1968 Bug back on the road again. The interior needs a little cleanup, you know. We got to do some work in here, and the reason the seat's up is because the battery gets disconnected and when it's sitting. But there's a lot of things. It just needs a general cleanup, shampoo the carpets, lay the carpets back down, get all the garbage out of it, and just get the car cleaned up. I need to fix the speedometer. It's not working right now. These are some custom covers I made for the speakers. It just kind of sits on there. It's an Infinity 10-inch. Sounds really good. They just kind of sit in there like that. These are some Infinity 6x9s, triaxle type, with tweeters and mid-range, you know. It sounds really good. It sounds really good. I have some Infinity component speakers, 6.5, with tweeters in the kick panels. And these speakers run off the stereo power, which is 200 watts, so it's about 50 watts per channel, RMS. The stereo resides inside the glove box. Right there, it's a JVC unit, and works really well. It's kind of outdated now. There's probably some better units out there, but I mean, it works perfect for this Volkswagen. So up here in the front, where usually there would be an engine in a normal car, is where we have the Sony amp. These are the crossovers for the Infinity component speakers. The Sony amp is 1,000 watt by 2 or 1 channel bridgeable. Right now this just runs the subwoofer. We have a brake cover back here. I mean the wire cover. We have our brake reservoir. All the carpet in here. We made this board to mount everything. We have an extra battery here that we never wired up. This battery will act like a coil, or a capacitor rather, for the amplifier. Also, it can start the car. I have a relay and everything that will turn this battery on when I flip a switch, or when the key is turned in the car. It'll activate this battery, and the car can charge this battery with the whole system, and this battery can start the car if the battery would go dead, but it will right now be like a capacitor for the amp. I also have some struts, hydraulic struts to use in place of the noisy springs. It'll make things a little quieter when you're accessing this point. But yeah, it's a great little car. It's a great little car. I really look forward to getting some projects done on it. Now, we did the one-piece windows, got rid of the wing windows. Those work good. Yeah, it's a super nice car. Really nice. I put together a little video. It's a pictorial video, just pictures of when we built the car. Some of the things we did. There's a couple of little videos in there. of the first startup of the engine and when it went off the paint and such. Wow, those birds. But check it out. Hope you enjoy it. And yeah, I just hope you enjoy it.